But of course, to offset all of the positive, we've got one overwhelmingly ridiculous negative. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my trolls, my detractors, my stalkers, mentally challenged, ill people, criminals, whatever you want to call them, have once again broken the law and committed identity fraud against me. Yes, because last night, live on stream, I was able to get Switch 2 pre-ordered. And then they went in and through social engineering, canceled my orders. I'm going to explain the entire thing to you on today's show, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to proceed moving forward. So, the real story, not their 5,000 conspiracies that they all came up with overnight because they're all mouth-drooling, insane idiots wearing tinfoil hats, but instead, the real story of what went down last night, but also a bunch of positive stuff on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. And folks, when people tell me that I am paranoid, that I have become shell-shocked and I'm like really just scared because I tell you guys, I limit my content to what I'm actually doing in this room. All right? That means that any content that I make, I'm recording, I'm streaming, whatever it is, comes from this place right here and that TV and that PC or those consoles and these cameras. This is the content that I put on the internet. And if you ask, well, I don't get it. Why? Why, Phil, is that all that you do? Couldn't you do vlogs of your house? Why don't you go cook a meal in your kitchen? Why don't you do an IRL stream following you around town to see what you do on a daily basis? Why don't you record a grocery trip and show us what you buy? They call it a grocery haul or something like that video. It's very popular, right? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? All right? Now, for most people, these things seem like commonplace things, harmless, interesting even ideas of variety content that Phil could put out on the internet and would get him attention and views and support from his followers. However, what you don't understand, very simply put, is that commonplace things for everyone else become actual IRL harassment, becomes things that can actually hurt myself, my family, my livelihood. You guys have no concept of how many idiots have tried to hurt me over the years. I've been around for over 17 years as a content creator. You wouldn't even want to hear the half of it, of the stuff that's been done to me and the attempts that have been made to try to screw with my life. Insane stuff, like ridiculous, over-the-top crap you wouldn't believe. How about they tried to actually get my wife and I divorced by trying to file divorce papers, even though neither of us actually did it. I wish that was a joke, but it's not. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just one example. That's the tip of the iceberg, all right? And I've used this example before, but I'll say it again. Many years ago, I was in my kitchen vlogging, okay? Just filming around my kitchen, doing a vlog. I don't remember what it was. There happened to be a utility bill sitting on my countertop. Now, was the bill opened? Did it have all of my account information and everything on it? No. It was just the envelope. All it said on it was, like return address, here's the utility company. That's it. That's all you could see in the video. And keep in mind, this was before I was even doing the quality I'm doing now. I was using a crappy camera that was like, not even 720p quality or anything. These people used software, okay, to engineer the video to hyper fixate or whatever you want to say to see the address of the utility company. They then contacted the utility company using common knowledge of information that was doxed about me on the internet, including my name, my address, my phone number, stuff that I never originally put on the internet, but they did, okay? They socially engineered the account and were going to have all of my power turned off and have my account closed. unbeknownst to me. And this actually would have happened if they didn't actually send me an confirmation email saying, hey, Mr. Burnell, thanks for all your requests, and as of Monday, that'll be done. And I said, what? And of course, I contacted them. I told them what was going on. They then put into effect safeguards so that can't happen ever again. Multiple levels of identity verification, authorization, etc. Okay? So that's just a couple examples of things that have been done to me over the years that normal people never would have to be bothered. Imagine if you got married and you just told people on the internet, hey, I got married. Do you think people would then try to contact places to get your marriage annulled or a divorce paper filed? Right? But that's the situation I'm in. Insane people of the vortex. That vortex around me of completely mentally ill people. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're involved in a drama vortex on the internet, you are mentally stunted. Period. If you involve yourself in that vortex, you are a mentally stunted individual and you should seek professional help. Normal people don't do that because normal people have lives. Normal people have jobs, friends, relationships, and positive things that they do, and that's what they focus their time on. They don't focus their time on trying to ruin the life of an internet content creator who they don't know, don't have interaction with, and don't actually know the real story on, but they just follow a bunch of people on the internet who crap on them daily like a Pied Piper, the morons following them around so that they can make a buck. So it's this simple. I can't do things that most other people do because of the level of mentally ill people who stalk me on the internet and try to mess with me. Things that would obviously be feasible for someone else is just like an insane task for me because of the level of liability that I have doing it. Right now, if I were to take a camera and to walk through my home, literally by the end of today, I would probably have 20 things happening to me that are heinous. Seriously. And I wish that that's a joke. It's not. Okay? Like literally this would be happening. All right? So why am I telling you all of this? Well, because last night, live on stream, while I was building this Piranha Plant Lego, which, by the way, is looking pretty cool. I actually wish we had gotten further, but because I had to do the Switch 2 pre-order, we didn't get to do as far as I would like. As you can see, we're halfway done. This is 50% done with the build. It's the pipe, the stem, and the leaves actually move around and can be like maneuvered and positioned in a cool way. And a cool feature of this to show you, it has a door at the bottom. And what happens is it actually has a coin Lego that it comes with. So you can like put coins in and then you can press that and they fall out the bottom. Don't ask me what you would use that for, but it's a nice feature. So it's half done. I really was hoping we were going to finish it, but the Switch 2 stuff took over a half an hour from the stream. So it looks like one more stream and we will wrap up the Piranha Plant. Okay, I can't wait. Actually, next week we're going to finish it and it looks really cool. So anyway, last night, while we were doing the Lego stream building this guy, I went ahead and did my Switch 2 pre-orders, and basically what I should have done, quite frankly, if you want to know the truth, now I didn't think about it. I should have just said, guys, I'm going offline for 30 minutes. I'm going to go do my Switch pre-orders completely offline. This way, no one would know about them. No one can mess with them. Nothing. Now, a normal person would be like, why would I have to do that? That's not a big deal. You're just going to order your Switch. It's not a big deal. But me doing it immediately means that every mentally stunted, mentally challenged, mentally ill person on the internet comes after me and tries to figure out a way to ruin this for me. Okay? Because you might say, well, what's the big deal about Phil having a Switch 2? Well, to be honest, I'm not impressed with the launch lineup. Mario Kart World is the one game I'm really interested in. I also wanted to try out that demo game that you have to pay like $10 for to try the, technology out or whatever. But outside of that, no, not really, right? Like you don't really have to. There's not much that's going to happen with the launch of Switch 2. But for me, as a creator, to be able to unbox it live on launch day, to hook it up, to test it, that is primo content. That's the kind of content people come to expect from me from over the years. I did it with PS5. I did it with PS4, Xbox One, right? I did it, back in the day with the Wii U. I did eventually do it with the Switch. I did it with my first Switch and the Switch bricked, and then I had a second one. And eventually I did do that with the Xbox Series X, although it was late to the game because I didn't get it right away, right? This is the good content people like. They want to see that stuff up front, especially if you couldn't get the pre-order. Gee, let's see what it's like on launch day, and let's get Phil's honest opinion on it, right? So that's why. It's not necessarily because I'm going to be making insane amounts of content of the Switch 2. I would play Mario Kart World very heavily, but outside of that, there's nothing else till Donkey Kong, and then after that, there's probably nothing else, quite frankly, for the end of the year. But, you know, it's still great content that you guys want, right? So that's why I planned it out. I literally had created accounts on every single site. Best Buy, Target, Amazon, Walmart, had them all lined up, had everything ready to go. All the payment information was in there. The addresses were in there. So when these pre-orders went live, I could do it. And I did. I tried all of them. Best Buy crapped out, didn't work. Target, I had it in cart, wouldn't check out. But Walmart, I got. Walmart was in the cart. Not only one, but the two different versions, the base Switch 2 and the Switch 2 bundle. So I'm thinking, wow, I can maybe have one for personal use here for the business, and one, maybe I could give it to my wife. Maybe I could give it away to a fan.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop your fucking lying.
It's a backup, because remember, when I bought the Switch 1, it bricked within 24 hours, and I was stuck without a Switch for several months because of that. To have the backup is absolutely awesome, okay? That's a great thing. So it's like, not only did I get one, I lucked out and was able to get another one, all right? But my problem is very simple. I still, to this day, try to maintain a level of normalcy. So because I did this online, immediately my online stalkers decided to ruin it for me. And basically, here's what happened, okay? It went through, done deal. Payment was charged, everything good. So we went back to the stream, and I completed, as far as I could, this build. We hit the goal, so that's great. Now we hit 30 goals hit, which means we're doing the Chipotle DSP tries it today, all right? And then basically around 9:45-ish, all right? I logged off, and I said, all right, I got to get going. Now, a few things actually happened that you guys aren't aware of. Number one, because I bought the two Switch 2s, one of them went to my bank account, and I tried to do it for the second one, and my bank account thought it was a fraudulent transaction and froze my account. So I had to contact the bank to get the account unfrozen. It was really stupid, okay? The other one, I went through a different payment method, all right? That's how I got both Switch 2s. So actually, the orders were a little staggered. One checked out at one point and one checked out at another point via different payment methods, okay? So as soon as the stream went offline, I had to sit and wait on hold, all right, for like 40 minutes with my bank to get the bank account unfrozen so that I could do other things and pay bills and things, okay? So as that's happening, I'm doing other things. I actually filmed the daily wrap, and the first daily wrap I filmed was like triumphant. Wow, what a great day. We had an amazing stream of Oblivion, and we hit my goals. We built the Lego, and we hit the goals. I got my Switch 2's pre-order. Amazing day. So I finished recording that, all right? And I was actually about to start like uploading while I was on hold with my bank, and all of a sudden, I get an email, and it says, you have successfully canceled your order. And I said, what? And I started reading the email from Walmart, and it says, congratulations, you have successfully canceled your Switch 2 pre-order. And I looked at it, and it was the first Switch 2, the one that was the base unit, not the bundle, but the first one that I had checked out and paid for. And I said, obviously, I did not do that. So the first thing I did is I logged in to my account, okay? The thing is, I have various ways to log into everything. I make sure that I'm not limited to only one way, all right? So I have all these backups, these, safeguards, so that I can log into things multiple different avenues. So I logged into my Walmart account to find out that someone had access to it, okay? And I could tell because they changed the password on the account, okay? In addition, they started messing with the account, meaning they were adding and removing things to my cart. So I'm thinking, how could this possibly have happened? All right. And as I'm doing that, trying to figure it out, They canceled my second Switch 2 pre-order right in front of me. And I'm like, wow, well, this is pretty messed up. So, of course, I try to contact customer support, and I tried to get them on the phone, and I'm not even kidding. They hang up on you. You call and you get to the automated system, and you go through, and you say, okay, I want to talk to a rep because none of your automated options are going to help me here. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you just said. And then the phone hangs up. And I tried it 3 different times in a row, and that's how they treat you on the line. They hang up on you at Walmart. Do you see why I don't like to do business with Walmart? And I've said this before. They're just a really bad company to deal with. So I ended up going to their chat service, okay? And going through their chat service, of course, you talk to someone at a customer service center on the other side of the planet, but they're doing their best to help you. So I start to explain the situation, all right? And of course, they're utterly confused. They don't know if I'm contacting them to complain about the orders canceled. They don't know if I'm contacting them to find out how someone has access to my account. So they're, their head is spinning, and this is just someone in a call center who's trying to help me basically with a notebook or step-by-step instruction fact on how to deal with customers, and they don't have any idea how they're supposed to help me, okay? They don't. So basically, they had to go get their supervisor involved. And after a lengthy discussion, here's what we verified. Someone contacted Walmart basically saying they were me. They had my name, my address, my phone number, my email, public information. Not that that should be public information. It shouldn't, but it is because people doxed me 10 years ago, right? My address and phone number were doxed by trolls on the internet a long, long time ago, and it never should have been public information, but it is, okay? So, should Walmart have been able to grant access to a third party with that information? No, and I confirmed that. They absolutely should never have done that. It should have only been done via the methods that I have set up, including, like a text message code or an email to a different unassociated email address with a confirmation code, or using a third-party app to have a specialty authenticity code, all these methods. But someone who works at Walmart wasn't that smart and said, oh, I'll just believe you. And they sent the person through, I think it was like a chat, the authorization code, which you're not supposed to do. So my account was socially engineered. Because when people say, what does social engineering mean? It means that despite the fact that you have things in place to stop unauthorized access, some moron does the wrong thing because they believe a lie. Someone says they're someone else, and with very basic information tries to prove it, and an employee is just dumb enough to believe it and does something they're not supposed to do, granting access to that unauthorized party. So someone was sent a code that they were not supposed to be sent. They then logged into my account. They canceled the 2 Switch 2 pre-orders. They changed the password on the account. And then they were in the process of adding things to cart because they were going to try to buy things that I didn't want to screw with my money. Okay? So basically, I got control of the account through the real methods that you're supposed to use. I was able to change the password, and by setting up another level of authorization, it kicked them out. So they don't have access anymore. They were literally removed, kicked out, timed out of their session on the account. And now I have access and ownership of the Walmart account again. Not that it makes any difference, because of course, once all of that happened, I said to the customer service, well, what do we do now? And they said, there's nothing we can do. Switch 2 sold out. You're out of luck. The best we can do is give you a credit on your account, which they did. They actually gave me a credit against my account. What's the point of that? I'm not getting the Switch 2. So for your inconvenience, here's a credit to your account, and we'll let you know when the Switch 2 is back in stock so that you can order it. That's what they said. Oh, well, we'll put you on the list, and you'll get a notification from us when the Switch 2 comes back in stock. So let me get this straight. Someone at your company is a dumbass, and through completely illegal means, granted access to my personal account and information, even though they weren't supposed to. And the thing you're going to do for me is give me a few bucks. Wow, that sounds like a real way to treat the customer, doesn't it? But again, I am the exception to the rule. I am the person who has this stuff happen. 99.9999999% of the populace, this would never happen. And by the way, for the record, this person was trying to do this from the moment that I ordered the Switch 2s, which was around 9 p.m., till past 10 p.m. Like, it took them a while to find someone who was gullible enough to believe them and give them access to the account. They had been trying to do it for over an hour before they finally found the sucker who believed them. So probably they did this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times and kept backing out and trying again until finally they found someone stupid enough. Okay? So here's the thing. This is the problem with having customer support on the other side of the planet with people who don't understand shit, sitting in a call center looking at a step-by-step instructional guide on how to help someone, because they don't understand that people can actually do malicious things and mess with people's livelihood. Like, for example, thank God I got into the account when I did and I changed everything. They could have been adding things to my Walmart cart and checking out and spending my money. Now I would have had to catch that and cancel all those orders before they ship, or else now I'm responsible for returning a whole bunch of shit that I didn't want to order and I never authorized payment on. So I want you to think about how messed up this is, okay? Now, I am going to say something, and I've had enough of this shit, okay? Since last night, I announced that this had happened to me, okay? Every motherfucker on the planet is trying to blame me, all right? You showed an email. You showed an order number. You said it was Walmart. You said it was... Now listen, again, I will admit this. I should have just gone offline to do this. I never should have said I got it from Walmart. I never should have done any of that. I should have said, I'm going to pre-order and I'll be back. And I should have just ran break stuff, break music and slides, instead of sitting here doing it and telling you guys the process, because I thought it was kind of exciting and you guys were excited to see if I was going to get it or not, right? So I thought it would be good content, and it was good content, quite frankly. People liked it who were on the stream. But God forbid that I make good content, right? Because I'm not allowed. If I do that, I'm at risk. And this is the point I keep making to you guys. This is why I can't go film in my house. I can't do IRL vlogging. I can't do any of that shit, because that stuff is an actual risk. So the fact that I sat here saying, oh, I'm pre-ordering from Walmart. Oh, here's the confirmation email. That literally put me at risk, because they could socially engineer the account, all right? Now, all the moronic shit that the tinfoil hat wearing idiots are saying, go fuck yourselves, all right? No, Walmart didn't cancel my pre-orders because I ordered 2 Switches, and there's a 1 Switch per household policy. That never happened. No, 100% fucking false. It was outright canceled by someone who had access to my account. They were adding shit to my cart and they changed my password, you dumb fucks. All right? You and your fucking insane, let's blame Phil in every situation. And even on top of that anyway, it's still a crime that was committed. Even if I told you I ordered from Walmart, it's still a fucking crime to impersonate someone's identity. It's called identity fraud, identity theft. It's a fucking federal crime. And this is like the 10th time it's happened to me. This happened to me with accounts years ago, and that's why I had to redo my entire fucking bank account and all of that shit. It happened with my utilities. Now it happens again. This social engineering and identity fraud is a huge fucking problem, and no one out there is equipped to handle it. None of these companies understand the level that people will go to fuck with someone just because they're mentally ill. So they have no real safeguards against it. At any moment, any employee of any company could be a moron and grant access to all of your shit. Even if you have 1-factor, 2-factor, 3-factor, 7-factor authorization, you have apps that authorize, it doesn't matter. They say, oh, okay, I believe you. Here's a code. Go ahead. There's nothing you can do. So what I have to do moving forward, I know how insane this sounds. From now on, I literally have to not make anything public that involves anything like this. Bill's going to do a pre-order. All right, guys, I'll see you later. I'll be back. You know, that's just it. You know, there's nothing that I can do about it. It's just insane. And again, oh, well, this is Phil's fault. How? How is it my fault exactly? Tell me how someone actually committing a crime is my fault. Oh, you showed an email. What's your fucking point, you incredible mouth drooler? You incredible brainless twit. So what if I showed an email? That doesn't give someone the right to impersonate me, say that they're me, fool a customer service rep into thinking they're me to get access to my account, cancel orders, put things in my car, and change my password. That's all illegal. You fucking moron. So, what does this mean? How do I proceed? And what do we do? Okay. Well, first off, the pre-orders are all done. Just for the record, it's sold out everywhere. I try, you couldn't even get Target to work. I had it in my cart at Target. It never worked. They just air it out endlessly and you could never buy it. Best Buy didn't work. They didn't launch at 9 p.m. like they were supposed to. They launched at like 9:20, 9:30. It aired out repeatedly and almost no one could get it from there either. Okay. I tried GameStop this morning. Their website wouldn't even work. I tried the app. Their app aired out. And by the time that it finally loaded again, it just said, oh, not available. So I can't buy it through official means. And the thing is, I want to. You have to understand something. All right. I wanted to buy the Switch 2. I had every intention of paying my own hard-earned money to get the Switch 2. These crazy criminals, these mentally stunted morons are the reasons why I can't just do normal shit through normal means like everyone else. That's all I wanted to do was just buy a Switch so I could do it as a launch coverage like I am entitled to as a content creator, like every other human who has money. I should have been able to do it. But instead, I have to have federal crimes committed against me. All right? So, I don't know what else to say. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation. So, number one, I'm just going to tell you this. All right? I'm going to make this abundantly clear. No longer am I going to listen to or entertain any moron or idiot who says, Phil, you over-exaggerate. Phil, you make stuff up. Phil, you do this for sympathy. You do this because you want free shit. I don't want anyone to donate anything to me. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I wanted to buy the Switch 2 last night. That ability to just make an actual commercial transaction was taken away from me. I wasn't saying, hey, everyone, please buy me a Switch 2. Please donate a Switch 2. No, I wanted to buy it, and they wouldn't let me. Do you get it? How fucked up that is? I work hard. People support my content because they like it. I earn money that I should be able to spend on whatever I want. I shouldn't have to worry about pussyfooting around, being incredibly afraid that I say or do something that might jeopardize myself or my family's privacy, or have someone commit a federal crime to impersonate me to try to fuck with me and my livelihood. You get it? Like, that should never happen in any circumstance. It's not okay in any way, shape, or form, in any time or place. It's not right. So enough with your, oh, Phil deserves it. Phil showed the email. Phil said he bought it from Walmart. Phil ordered 2 Switches. You're fucking stupid. You're the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Kiss my fucking hairy ass. Someone went out of their way to commit a federal crime to stop me from covering the launch of the Switch 2. And now it's time to fucking suffer. Because here's why you're going to suffer, you dumb fuck. You ready for this? Why do you think I have been around for 17 years? Do you think it was chance? Do you think it was coincidence? Do you think that for some reason I just magically stayed? Ladies and gentlemen, the reason that I'm still here after 17 years is one fucking word: perseverance. Get it? I don't give up. I don't fail or falter. I don't fall down on my knees crying, oh my God, it's all over. They got me. Instead, when people fuck with me, I use that as motivation to continue forward positively, to keep sticking to my guns, to keep doing what I know is the right thing to do. And that's why people still care about Darkside Phil in 2025. It's not because I sold out and became a shill like one half of the internet. And it's not because I became a toxic bully who gets into drama and awful content like the other half of the internet. It's because I am a man alone standing on an island making content the way no one else dares to be different, to not hurt others, and to say no matter what you throw against me, you're not going to hurt me. I am the rock face upon which the waves crash, and I never fucking crumble. Get it? It doesn't matter what you do, what you fucking say. It doesn't matter how you portray me on the internet. I'm going to be here every day, streaming, making meaningful, positive content for my viewers and audience till the day that I decide I am done and I hang up the mantle of Darkside Phil, the streamer and content creator. I decide my destiny. I am the master of my own fate, and there's nothing any of you can do about it. You fooled someone in Pakistan or India into thinking you were me, and you logged into my account and you canceled my pre-orders. So what? I'm still here. I'm still streaming. I'm still going to play a game today. I'm still going to make content. I'm still going to make a living. And guess what? When people fuck with me, more people support me. You stupid, incredible, brainless idiot. When you mess with Darkside Phil, people rally to support Darkside Phil. That's why I'm still here 17 years later. Do you know what the King of Hate moniker meant? It didn't mean that I was a hateful individual who wanted to crap on others and be a bigot and a sexist and a racist and to insult Hideo Kojima like all the morons said it was. The King of Hate moniker is that when people hate against Phil Burnell takes all of that hatred and vitriol against him and he uses it as fuel. He throws it into his fucking engine and he burns it up and it propels him forward with energy and vigor to make positive content and to be successful. I own the hate against me and I use it to push forward positively and succeed. And that's why I'm here 17 years later. No matter how many morons have tried to end me, I'm still fucking here. I'm not going anywhere. Right now, I'm actually on a high. Things are going well for me. Think about all the awesome stuff that's happened in the last year, the massive upgrades to my setup, the fact that I'm a successful co-streamer. I'm making money. I can afford all the things. I was going to buy 2 Switch 2s because I can afford them. I didn't have to do a special event to fundraise for it. I could just get them. I just became a verified and partnered streamer on Kick, and that's working out. All these things are working well for me. Do you get it? Well for me. So every time that you fuck with me, all you do is prove my point. I am not going to falter or fail. I'm going to continue. You are going to sit there and stew and cry and seethe and mope and cope and say, I can't believe it. Like the Grinch on Christmas morning when he looked down at Whoville and he said, Christmas still came, even without toys, even without the feast, even without all of those things. They're still happy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter how you fuck with me. I'm still going to be here. I'm not going to give up. So many people have said to me over the years, Phil, why don't you give it up and throw in the towel? With all the things that's happened to you, that's documented. Not even just the things you say, but the things that are public is crazy. We can only imagine the things that have happened behind the scenes that we don't even know about. How do you keep doing it? Well, maybe it's because I'm stubborn. Probably a big part of it. Again, I'm the kind of guy that my whole life, when someone looked at me and said, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're a scumbag, you're an asshole, you're a jerk, this and that, I said, I'm glad you feel that way. Now I'm going to prove you wrong. And every single time in my life that it's happened, I've persevered. When in the Street Fighter community, they said all I was a big shit talker, and I was never going to put my money where my mouth was and actually win, I proceeded to win tournament after tournament after tournament after tournament in Super Turbo and show them all that I was great. And then they had nothing else to fucking say until people tried to erase that narrative and rewrite it years later on the internet. The fact remains, I became a top-level tournament player despite the fact that everyone thought that I was just going to be a shit-talking scrub. on YouTube. Everyone said, oh, Phil, you're a no one. Your quality sucks. No one likes your content because you're just a schlub. And I said, all right, fine. I'm glad you said that. And through the years, I constantly improved, changed, and became a better person. And now here I am in 2025, and I'm more successful now than I ever was. And you might say, what? I don't get it. Doesn't matter how many views you have. It doesn't matter how many people watch your content. What happens is how many people care about you and your content and support it. I know that now. I'm much more successful and happy and positive in my life today, having a few thousand major supporters who love what I do, as opposed to back in the day when I had hundreds of thousands of people who were watching me, but no one was really supporting. They were just watching. Get it? There's a big difference. But people don't get that. They don't understand. They actually are that ignorant. They don't get it. So here's the deal. Moving forward, I just have to be more careful. I have to be careful about what I tell you guys. I have to be careful about how I operate. I thought that I had been careful to the point where people were calling me paranoid. You're not going to do a cooking video in your kitchen? What are you, stupid and crazy? What could possibly happen? You're not going to do a vlog in your house? You're not going to go do this IRL video? Everyone else does it. You're just a coward. No, I'm not a coward. It's just that I'm one of the most abused people on the internet, and I know better. I'm not stupid. And so when you say, do a fan lobby night, do that involves the opportunity for someone to get in and fuck with people's information and fuck with your stream and fuck with, no, shut the fuck up. I know better because I've been there, done that, and I've been through it. Almost 18 years. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Stop fucking trying to demand things from me that don't make any goddamn sense because I'm the exception to the rule with this level of harassment that I get. I'm not going to put up with this nonsense anymore of people telling me that I'm just paranoid and wrong when literally the one time that let's do something different on stream. Let's open up. Let's do the Switch 2 pre-orders. And then this fraud happens. Blatant crimes and fraud. The first opportunity that I give, they take it. All right? So I'm not stupid. I'm just not putting up with this shit ever again. So, yeah. Moving forward, don't expect me to be doing stuff like that live. Well, I'm taking a break. I'll come back in a few, and I'm not going to give you guys details of anything. All right? Now, rest assured, okay? Rest assured. I'm going to find a way to make this work. I don't know what it is right now. I'm being frank with all of you. I don't know. It seems like there's no legal way to buy the Switch 2 right now because they're all pre-ordered out. No one's going to magically find Switch 2 sitting around and say, oh, I can sell you this for launch day. But I'm going to figure out something. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to buy anything from a scalper. I refuse. I've told you adamantly how anti-scalper I am. The entire thing that happened during the PS5 launch was an absolute freaking nightmare with scalping and all that. I would never buy a Switch 2 from a scalper simply because it just makes that process more viable, it supports that whole process. And I don't believe in scalping at all. All right. So I'm not going to get it from a scalper, but I'm going to do whatever I can to get one. We'll see. And here's the truth. I'm not going to tell you anything. You're not going to know it all until launch day of Switch 2 if I'm actually getting a Switch 2. Because the moment that I tell you anything, someone will try to fuck with it and ruin it. They've gone through every possible means, every level of committing crimes. Nothing is out of their reach to them. There's no morality. They're not even afraid of going to jail. They're not. They've done everything possible, so I'm not dumb. I know that if I mention any method by which I'm going to get a Switch 2, they're going to try to ruin it for me. All right? So I'm not going to bring it up at all. You're not going to hear me talk about getting a Switch 2 until the launch day of Switch 2. And then on launch day of Switch 2, I'll tell you if I have it or if I didn't get it and what else we're doing that day. Okay? That's literally the only way to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, that's the only way to be safe at this point. Outside of that, there's nothing else I can do, right? So I'm sorry to those who want Phil to open up more, to be more interactive and to do these kind of things. I can't. I literally can't because of these crazy people. I would love to do different kinds of content. I can't. They will hurt me. As fucked as it sounds, they will go out of their way to hurt me and my family. It's proven. It's absolutely confirmed. At every single time that they have a chance to do it, they will do it. So that's that. So what I will say is, to those of you who are hoping I would get a Switch 2 pre-order, thanks. Thanks for the confidence. Thanks for the vote of positivity that you wanted to see me cover this thing on release day. I really wanted to. All right. And I certainly hope that I can get it, but I just don't know how I'm going to get it right now. Just being honest. All right. And like I said, if and when I secure one, you will never know about it. From this moment on, don't ask me about the Switch 2. You'll know if I'm covering the Switch 2 on release day, June 5th, 2025. And until then, I've got other shit to do. I'm busy. Don't fuck with me. Okay? All right. I've said what I had to say about the subject. I'm done with it now. All right? We're moving on. We got positive stuff to do today. Really positive stuff to do today, right? We've got the premiere of Claire Obscure. We've got Minecraft. We've got DSP Tries It. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff going on today. So I'm not going to sit here and be, oh, I'm so sad or whatever. You know, not. I'm going to have fun with you guys on the internet today. We're going to have a great time together. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about. Okay? Positive, fun, meaningful content.
You got some idiot named DSP who's a total piece of shit, by the way. I like to get that on YouTube. But